I have no idea what to put as an intro here, so I'm just gonna get it out of the way. It's in the intro. You came for it. How to build a motorcycle. Oh yeah, baby, a motorcycle. Let's get this thing through. I have nothing else to say. We're just building a motorcycle. We're getting this thing together. It should hopefully be shorter than my mech tutorial. There we go. If you guys didn't see it, go check it out, because if you didn't, well, you're missing out on some knowledge. Some sweet, succulent knowledge. Alright, so let's start off with the wheels. It's best to get the probably toughest part out of the way first. And probably one of the most important things when we're making a motorcycle is the wheel base, like the distance between each wheel. And it's like if you have it too short, it would be more likely to spin out, but be more stable, but be harder to turn if like the rear wheel is farther away from the front. And you don't have to do this, but if you look, like I have one wheel higher up than the other. I have that so it kind of sits more angled, and I think it kind of assists in stability a little bit. But yeah, whenever moving on to like the forks on the arms, you can put as many like suspension bits as you want. This is going to be a dirt bike. If you're going to make a super bike or like a really fast motorcycle, most of the time, like when I built one, it's one of my shorts. You should go check it out. Better, but anyways, in that short, I only used like one stack of suspension instead of like 3 on this one. But yeah, next you just throw in like a steering arm. This is basically probably the simplest part whenever making a motorcycle, is just making the motorcycle. There's really not a whole lot behind it. The big thing that I've noticed though that can be a big issue is the handling of the bike, in which this is also pre-recorded. I'm just recording my voice over this all, so yeah. But anyways, this is just basically the biggest issue whenever making these is stability and handling. If your bike's slow, it's decent, but if like you're going fast, you're more prone to spin out. Now another thing with Trailmakers is whenever you turn, like if you have a motorcycle, I like to make mine lean so it's more realistic, but it kind of causes this weird issue with the wheels, making them like dig into the ground and then making it so like rear wheel spin out and flip the whole thing around, which can be very frustrating sometimes whenever you're trying to make a bike and you think it looks cool. Now another thing here, you don't like all this, you don't have to exactly do, you just have to have the base of it there. Now right here I'm going for just a simple suspension system, which is you can't really even call it a system, it's just basic suspension. Now it's basically 2 hinges. You have to make sure that the hinges are at 0 strength, as I'm showing right here, 0. But basically you're gonna have to make sure that it's going up and down instead of like left and right. By then doing that, you connect them. Now you don't need a one connecting to the wheel, you just need that one hinge pivoting off the chassis of the motorcycle. And then what I did here, I just had like a whole section that would then connect to the suspension. Now whenever making the suspension, you're going to want there to be like one hinge on the bottom of the suspension and one hinge on the top of the suspension in the same axis of the one that's connected to the chassis, which I know it could be confusing what I'm talking about, but like you could see right there, the wheel goes up. You're gonna want all the wheels to be in that same, well, not, you're gonna want all the hinges going in the same like orientation like that. Just they're positioned differently. Like as I'm setting it up right here, just like that. You're gonna want the hinges to be exactly like that. Make sure it's connected because if you don't have those like hinges right there, it will not allow the suspension to angle appropriately, so it still works. So you can see right here it worked, but once like I actually have it all working and all balanced, you can definitely see the suspension's pretty good. Now whenever making this, if like you're making this exact, if I were you, I would stiffen the front suspension a little bit, because I noticed whenever giving it the test run, it was a little bit tough. And also, if you do have the suspension really, really soft on the front, it can also make it dig its front wheel into the ground and then make it spin out. But other than that, it's not too bad making a motorcycle. And I'm looking at the time right now. It's really not, this video is not going to be that long. Oh, that's great. Anyways, this bastard's going to be kind of long, actually. So, now whenever, like, you know, building a motorcycle, your top priority is to kind of prevent it from spinning out so easily. So suspension strength can have like a big major impact. Now something later on through this video, I came across an issue that of being the swing arm, basically the arm that connects the chassis to the motorcycle wheel. There was an issue where, since there's just one bar, as you can see there, it would have, you know, it would twist, making it kind of a little spin out kind of easily. But now whenever doing this, it doesn't matter exactly like how you have this set up, as long, because whenever you lean, you would think to like have it, like if you want to lean to the left, you'll have the hinge lean to the left, but I actually want to lean to the right, because later on we'll be adding in a angle sensor to that person's body. So whenever he leans to the right, the motorcycle will actually lean to the left, because that stabilizer will try and keep the guy himself in that like fixed position without, you know, causing any issues, that making the motorcycle then tilt. Now, I'm kind of yabbering on right now, mainly because I don't exactly know how to do this, but as you're like seeing here, you can use a, whatever the hell they're called, gyro stabilizers. You can use those, but I prefer to use angle sensors with a helicopter engine because it's much stronger and faster to react. Now, you're gonna have to have it set like with its width at 180, and then its direction at, you know, around like 88 to 90. 90, like if you have it like set at 90 degrees basically, it would cause like rapid twitching. So I usually set it between 88 and 90. Most often they're set at 89.5, which I believe I just set this one at 89 is what I just seen. Now something else here. Now whenever doing this, you're going to want 2 angle sensors. Having 2 angle sensors would then like fill in, because like one angle sensor gets like 1/2 of like what angle it's at. So you're gonna need another angle sensor to detect the other half. Come to think of it, I might be, no, that would not work. I kind of just now thought, because if I have it set, because like that blue signifies where it's like detecting angle. So I thought for a moment, if I just have that like half, you know, circle sideways, so it's like at the top half, it would work. But I just now realized that there's gonna be no negative area. But now something else here, you don't have to do this part, but I prefer to do it so it's a little bit simpler. Well, maybe not simpler, but like a little bit more effective when we're riding. I will have a, not hinge, you can use a hinge if you want, but I use a rotating servo because it's stronger. But I have one there, so like if the terrain, like if the motorcycle tries to go up like a hill, the person's able to lean forward, so the stabilizers going left and right don't like mess up and make it spin in a circle as it's going uphill. That's why I have that there. And I believe, I'm not sure, because like you don't have to do anything here. You just had to simply connect that, like those two to that. Also, something I almost forgot to say, for the second angle sensor, you're gonna want the output to be in a negative and the direction in like a negative number. So it's gonna be completely opposite other than the width. The width would always be the same. So after this, you kind of just do your thing. Because I don't think it worked first try on the motorcycle. I don't believe it did. Whenever I placed it down, I don't think it worked first try. But then after that, you're going to want to take those two angle sensors and connect them to that. Which you could see, whenever it does that, it's just thinking that it wants to be upside down. So then you switch the speed to a negative on the helicopter engine, so it would then make it more stable. This is the exact same system. Well, what would you really even call it? I guess like stabilizer. It's the same stabilizer system on my mechs, but it's more likely to... You're gonna want it to be a little bit more strict on a mech than on a motorcycle. As you can see, I wiped out right there. That's pretty funny. But yeah, I noticed that this motorcycle much better performs at low speed than high speed. As you can see, that back wheel's wobbling, as I said earlier. And then that can happen. That's like what you don't want to happen, obviously. Now, as I said, you're going to want to take those front suspensions whenever you're building this. You're going to want to take the front suspension, make it stiffer, because that can definitely assist. Now that gyro, the whole reason that gyro's there is to keep it from spinning out so easily. It will dampen the effect, making it just more stable overall. Now, in this point, I forgot to have that. Oh wait, no, I did not forget to have that connected. It was just very weak. So then you would just move that forward. The reason why you would move it forward is so like the actual suspension has more leverage, but it would then have less travel. Alright, so for this final bit here, I just simply changed up some of the back wheel stuff because you can see how it wobbles. That's mainly because it's not very supported along the other side. It needs its swing arm to be fully finished, basically. So what I did, I just copied it over to the other side to, give it that support so it can't wobble. Oh, dear God, it took me so long to get to finishing this video for no reason, bro. All I had to do is record this last segment, but I constantly was pushing it off. But hey, now I'm finishing it. I was mainly worried because I keep on thinking that's just not gonna do well. I still think it's not gonna really do well, but, who am I to say? So, for this final bit, just strengthen the suspension. Do some of that, and again, just as I said I believe from the start of the video, just strengthen up the front suspension and now you're set. You're fine. In all honesty, I do love making these videos, but dear God, sometimes like this editing software just makes it so awful. Like, you have no idea how much effort it took just to put the live Bob Sauce cam for you guys. So, you guys, say something if like I should keep on bringing back the Bob Sauce cam, because that would make everything so much better if he stayed. I love Bob Sauce. Bob Sauce with the sauce on his brush. Bob Sauce. Everyone loves Bob Sauce. Okay, anyways. Now, yeah. I don't know what else to say here. I've really been procrastinating this video, mainly of worrying that it just won't do well. But hey, I guess that's it. See ya.